فَالصَّالِحَاتِ. He begins, therefore, good women. Now notice the part about men began with rijal. It didn't say as-salihuna qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. Good men are caretakers of women. He said all men are. All men are. But when it came to women, he did not begin with the word women. He didn't begin with an-nisa. فَالنِّسَاءُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ. No. فَالصَّالِحَاتِ. Allah is saying that what is going to be described about women isn't actually naturally the case for all women. They're going to have to make an extra effort to be this way as a result of what a man is trying to do. He's trying to provide, he's trying to be a source of support, and he's doing so over and over and over again, and they're going to have to be the first thing, salihat, a poor translation, they're going to have to be good. But we're going to have to understand what salihat means. Salih or salaha in Arabic actually is the opposite of fasada. When something is bad, something is disgusting or ugly or corrupt, and when you fix it, salaha. Salaha is both lazim and muta'addi, of something to become good or for you to fix something. For you to fix something. Now what women are being told in this ayah is that actually they can have a tendency. They may or may not have it, but they have the ability to have a tendency that no matter what good is done for them, they can't see good in it. They just can't see it in it. They don't see it. So what? Oh, you think just because you did the groceries, I'm supposed to respect you now? And then you can say Salamu Alaikum, and she'll say Wa Alaikum Assalam. But the way in which, my sister, the way in which you will say Wa Alaikum Assalam is corrupt, is ugly. There's no love in it. There's no respect in it. There's spite in it. There's hatred in it. There's this rejection in it. You're saying good words, but they're not salih. And there's anger. Well, he didn't call me last night, or he didn't do this, or he didn't do that. And there's all these reasons for you to be upset. Now he's trying over and over to be qawwam, and he's not perfect. He's going to mess up. And you're going to always have reasons to be angry. Wallahi al-azim. Any wife that's sitting in the audience here, do you have any reason to be upset with your husband? There are going to be reasons. Even if she says, no, in her mind there's going to be a list. In her mind is going to be a list. And if I say, can you just write them down on a paper? She's going to say, do you have a notepad? I don't think a paper is enough. There are going to be reasons for her to be upset. And yet Allah says the first quality she's supposed to have is to fight that tendency to hold a grudge and to be angry and to let that cloud the way she speaks and the way she carries herself, but actually become a person that wants to reconcile, that wants to fix, that wants to move on and not let things get corrupt, not let things get ugly. By the way, fasada is also used for like fasada al-laban, fasada al-laham, fasada al-ta'am, when food goes bad. When you don't take care of food, it goes bad, and you have to take extra precaution to make sure it stays fresh or stays clean and doesn't get infected. She's constantly going to have to survey herself and her attitude. That's the first quality. Why should she do it? Then she asks, why should I do this? He doesn't deserve it. Do you know what he smells like? Do you know what he looks like? Do you know what he talks like? Brother, you gave this khutbah, but you don't understand my situation. Yes, you're right. I don't understand your situation, but Allah does. I'm not talking to you about what I think. I'm telling you what Allah says. And He gives the reason in the next description of women. Why should you be motivated to be this way? Qanitatun, because you're willing and obedient, willing and ready to serve Allah. Qunut goes back to Allah. Qumu lillahi qanitin is muqaddam for ikhtisas. Only to Allah should you be subservient. So when women are described as subservient, their relationship and their attitude with their husband is actually directly related to their connection with Allah. And when their attitude becomes corrupt, when their demeanor becomes spiteful, then actually that's an indication to yourself, not for your husband to point it out to you, for you yourself, of how far you're traversing from your connection with Allah. And it gets so bad at sometimes. I've heard this with my own ears. A woman well-educated, learned in the religion. She's arguing with her husband. She gets mad at him, and she won't even sleep in the same bed. She won't even say wa alaikum salam. She won't even look at him for weeks. And when she starts arguing, and he says, you learn the religion, you pray every day, you're so good in Islam, why are you so mean to me? And she says, well, right now I don't have to be Muslim, okay? Literally, right now I'm a Hindu. These words come out of knowledgeable religious women. It's shocking. Because the relationship with Allah gets cut when your spite towards your man is so high. Everything gets blocked off. Even your relationship with God. It's shocking. You have to check yourself. Thank God they can't see me right now. But qanitatun, they have to be subservient to Allah. Then he adds, hafilatun lil ghayb, guarding, consistently guarding, lil ghayb, for what can't be seen. Now what does that mean, guarding what can't be seen? The first meaning of that is these women have to guard the dignity, the integrity, the respect, and the trust of their husbands when the husband is not around. They shouldn't be talking to their friends about how bad he is, because he can't be there to defend himself. They shouldn't be talking to other men if he doesn't want them talking to other men. They shouldn't be going places he didn't want them to go. Or he's never going to find out. He's at work until 6 p.m. He's never going to know. He's completely they're invisible. The daytime, they're invisible guys at work or whatever. Or he's traveling and they can do whatever they want. The first meaning of this ayah is actually they protect themselves from what he doesn't want them to do. And by the way, interestingly enough, hafiz, guardian, is also caretaker in the Quran. Caretaker. That's the first meaning here. The second meaning of lil ghayb, which is profound, is that they are some things you cannot see. You cannot see your husband when he's at work. You can't see your husband when he's traveling. You can't see your husband when he's checking into a flight at the airport. You can't see who he's sitting next to. And you all know what I'm talking about. You can't see that. You can't see the trials and the temptations that this man that's married to you faces when he goes outside. How the women at the office talk to him. How people look at him. Who he interacts with. You can't control any of it. You don't see any of it. But you know what? Even if you don't see it, you can't be blind to it. You have to guard what you can't even see. Elsewhere in the Quran, وَمَا كُنَّا لِلْغَيْبِ حَافِظِينَ. How can we guard over something we can't even see? How can we be careful about something we can't even see? And women are being told, listen up, I know you can't see it, but you better watch for it anyway. You better take care of your husband as if to think that what you cannot see still exists. They have to go out of their way to be good to their husbands, to take care of their needs, to be attractive to their husbands, to be loving and caring to their husbands. They have to do all of these things and then not assume, well, he's ugly anyway, who's going to like him outside? Who's going to look at him? I don't have to take care of him, whatever. He can't do anything. They develop this attitude. And once that attitude develops in the mind of a woman, she starts demeaning her husband, puts him down and assumes that there's a kind of, well, I don't have to do anything to take care of this relationship. And Allah is countering all of it. Because men try to continuously maintain, take care. It has to be reciprocated on the other end. You have to take care of your husband. And you have to guard for the unseen. You have to know that he might you don't take care of yourself and your relationship with him, you'll lose him. Don't assume that you're going to keep him. You will lose him. And even if you don't lose him explicitly, you might lose him emotionally. He might emotionally divorce himself from you. He may not even look at you with the eyes of love. He may walk into the house with resentment. Why am I walking into this battlefield again? Oh my God, what's she going to say today? If that happens between a husband and the wife, what's the point of a marriage left? When Allah says, لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so you go to them so you can find peace. So you can find tranquility. And now you have situations where in a marriage, the only time a man does not find peace and tranquility is when he's around his wife. This is the tragedy on either side. Men not doing their job. Women not doing their job. فَالصَّالِحَاتُ قَانِتَاتٌ حَافِظَاتٌ لِلْغَيْبِ بِمَا حَفِظَ اللَّهِ. And the word hifz also, sisters listen up. In the beginning of my khutbah I said that men share have been given a word of responsibility that is so noble that one of Allah's names goes back to that word, qawwam. I said that in the beginning. And now the final attribute for women is hafizatun lil ghayb. The word hafiz, wallahu khayrun hafizan, is a name of Allah. Hafiz is one of the names of Allah. Inna Allah ala kulli shay'in hafiz. Inna Rabbi ala kulli shay'in hafiz. My master is hafiz over all things. This is one of the shared names of Allah. In other words, this is a divine responsibility for you to guard and safeguard this relationship. And by the way, you never use the word guard unless something is in danger. Never. You don't have to guard something that's not in danger. What is Allah telling women and what is Allah telling men? When men are told qawwam, take care over and over and over again, it actually means if you don't repeatedly take care, it will fall apart. And what are women being told? If you don't watch guard, it'll be destroyed. You'll lose it. It's actually very powerful that both sides have been given this balance.